do you call a guy who has his hand up a horse's ass? An Amish mechanic. Well, I decked the halls today. They kept coming over singing those damn Christmas carols. Amazon just got approved for drone delivery. They say drones will be making deliveries in months. We are now going to have skeet shooting with prizes. Pull! My dentist reminded me of my wife's sensitive gag reflex. We laughed and laughed. Then I remember that my wife and I have different dentists. What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs and a pile of leaves? Russell! Of course I won't laugh, said the nurse. I'm a professional. In over 20 years, I've never laughed at a patient. Okay then, said Bob as he proceeded to drop his trousers, revealing the smallest male private part the nurse had ever seen. In length and width, it was the same size as a AAA battery. Unable to control herself, the nurse tried to stop a giggle, but it just came out. Feeling very badly that she just laughed at the man's pee-pee, she composed herself as well as she could. On my honor, as a nurse and a lady, I promise it won't happen again. Now tell me, what seems to be the problem? Bob says, it's swollen. She ran out of the room. The collywobbles, a feeling of nervousness or anxiety in the stomach, often accompanied by physical discomfort or queasiness. Watching the Buffalo Bills lose 4 straight Super Bowls gave me the collywobbles. A guy is talking to his buddy about flying lessons. My first time in the air, my instructor informed me that he was an 8th-degree black belt and a homosexual. And if I didn't succumb to his sexual advances, I'd have to jump out of the plane. His buddy says, well, did you jump? The guy says, well, yeah, a little at first. When I was 6, Santa gave me coal for Christmas. So the next year, I decided to get back at him and poison his cookies. Somehow, the bastard found out and killed my dad. A very busy bar was bustling for the evening rush when a man walked in with an AK-47 and a 25-round mag. He shot a couple in the air and yelled, okay, who's the bastard that's been having sex with my wife? Everyone stayed quiet. Then one man in the back stood up and yelled, sorry, mate, but I don't think you got enough bullets. Why do men fart more often than women? Because women don't close their mouths long enough to build up the pressure. A couple were trying new things in the bedroom to spice up their marriage. The husband would blindfold the wife and put on a condom, and she would guess the flavor. The first night, she put the blindfold on and put the condom on and said, taste it. She immediately knew it was strawberry. The second night, same thing happened, except this time it was banana. On the third night, she puts the blindfold on and tasted the penis, and she said, ew, it tastes like rotted cheese and onions. The husband replies, hold up, I haven't put the condom on yet. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Snore and you sleep alone. 3 citizens were going through an exam to become FBI agents. Their instructor handed the first guy a gun in a room with his wife and said he had to shoot her. He walked out in shame and said he couldn't do it. The second guy had the same scenario. He put the gun up to her head, but he couldn't pull the trigger, so he walked out in shame as well. The third guy was put in the same scenario, and he walked out and told the instructor the gun wasn't loaded, so I had to strangle the bitch. The difference between Asians and Caucasians is the cock. I had a discussion with my girlfriend about whether sex feels better for a man or a woman. She said, of course for the woman. Like, you know when you have that itch in your ear and you put your finger inside to scratch it? Where does it feel better? On your finger or in your ear? I was in Venice Beach last month and there was a homeless man with a sign that said $1 for a dirty joke. Seemed like a good investment to me, so I gladly handed over $1. Homeless man. All right, sir, what's your name? Me, Johnny. Homeless man. So, Johnny, there's a black rooster, all right? How many legs does that chicken have? Me. 2. Homeless man. Right. Now, how many wings this black rooster got? Me. 2. Homeless man. Right. Now how many eyes does this black rooster got? Me. 2. Homeless man. Right again. Now, there's this white cat walking around. How many hairs are on the white cat? Me. I don't know, a lot. Homeless man. Well, well, Johnny, why is it that you know so much about black cock, but not enough about white pussy? 2 guys are trying to get in a quick 18 holes, but there are 2 terrible lady golfers in front of them hitting the ball everywhere but where it's supposed to go. The first guy says, why don't you go over there and ask if we can play through? The second guy gets about halfway there, turns around and comes back. The first guy says, what's wrong? He says, one of them is my wife and the other one's my mistress. The first guy says, well, that could be a problem. I'll go over then. He gets about halfway there and he turns around and he comes back too. The second guy says, what's wrong? The first guy says, small world. For many years, a man was having an affair with an Italian woman. One night, she confided in him that she was pregnant. Not wanting to ruin his reputation or his marriage, he paid a large sum of money if she would go to Italy to secretly have the baby. If she stayed in Italy to raise the child, he would also provide child support until they turned 18. She agreed, but asked how he would know when the baby was born. To keep it discreet, he told her to simply mail him a postcard and write spaghetti on the back. He would then arrange for child support payments to begin. One day, about 9 months later, he came home to his confused wife. Honey, she said, you received a very strange postcard today. Oh, really? Let me see, he said. The wife gave it to him and watched as her husband read the card, turned white, and fainted. On the card was written, spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. 2 with meatballs, 1 without. Send extra sauce. A king suspected that his queen was being unfaithful. So he secretly taped a tiny little razor blade to her womanhood. 3 days later, he ordered his knights to drop their pants. They all had bandaged penises, except for one. And the king said to him, I always knew that you were my most loyal knight. And he replied, oh, it was nothing, your majesty.